The opening words in this week's Sedra are, when you go out to war against your enemy, Hashem will give them into your hand and you will capture its captives. The sages explained that this refers to a Jew's spiritual struggle with the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination. Every Jew has the ability to prevail and emerge victorious. The strategy begins with a crucial first step. One must actually go out to war, meaning that at all times a Jew must remain in a state of readiness against spiritual enemies and negative influences. The Gemara in Brachos, Hey Amud Aleph, teaches a person should always incite his good inclination against his evil inclination. If he succeeds, all is well. If not, he should sit and learn Torah. If that works, it's good. If not, he should recite Kriya Shema. If even that fails, he should remind himself of the reality that one day death will defeat the Yetzer Hara. Contemplating this ultimate truth will humble him and suppress the urge to sin. The question is asked, why not skip directly to the most powerful method? If the Yetzer Hara threatens to overwhelm a person, why not remind him immediately of death, which is the ultimate weapon? The Imre Shefer answers with a parable. A man once became lost in a vast, dark forest. Despairing, he sat on a stone and wept bitterly, uncertain if he would ever see his home or family again. A wise man found him and asked him why he was crying. The man explained his plight. The wise man responded, "And how will sitting here crying help you? You will only freeze and perish if you remain in despair. You must get up and keep moving, searching for a path. So too, if one begins by focusing on death, it may lead only to sadness, paralyzing mourning, and despair. Instead, one should first engage in Torah study to illuminate the correct path, then recite Kriya Shema to strengthen faith and commitment to Hashem, the Torah, and Jewish life. Only after these steps, if necessary, should one recall the day of death. As we approach the high holidays, a time of tshuva and renewal, the lesson of the Sedra is clear. When you go out to war, we must fight energetically against all influences that weaken our connection to Yiddishkeit. One custom during Elul is to visit the graves of ancestors. This is a meaningful practice, and one can pour out heartfelt prayers and ask loved ones to intercede for a good year. At the same time, visiting the cemetery inevitably reminds us of our own mortality. Unfortunately, this practice had begun to replace synagogue attendance on Rosh Hashanah. But the sages already taught us, remembering the day of death is meant to be a last resort after Torah study and Kriya Shema. The truth of their words is clear. Many in the younger generation have even stopped going to the cemetery in Elul, and fewer observe Yizkor, Kaddish, or Yahrzeit for their parents. Without Torah and Kriya Shema, mere reminders of mortality lose their power and meaning. This brings us to another theme in the Sedra, the Ben Sora Omora, the rebellious son. The Abrabanel explains Sorer means turning away from the right path, and Moreh means leading others astray. Ibn Ezra interprets Sorer as laziness, neglecting positive mitzvahs, while Moreh refers to actively rebelling against negative commandments. But if this is the case, why does the Torah say that he does not listen to the voice of his father and mother, rather than saying he does not listen to the voice of Hashem or Torah? Perhaps the Torah is teaching us a tragic reality. For generations, when a child neglected mitzvahs like Shabbos and Kashrus, parents would still take comfort in the thought that he would at least observe Kaddish, Yizkor, and Yahrzeit. But now, we see a generation so far removed that even these practices, the voice of the father and the voice of the mother, are forgotten. The Torah calls on us to return to the foundation, Torah study and Kriya Shema. Judaism cannot be sustained by reminders of death alone. It must be a vibrant, spirited, and living Yiddishkeit. When you go out to war with energy and determination. We are all like travelers lost in the forest of life. If we search, cry out, and pray, Hashem will hear us and guide us back onto the path of joy and Torah. Later in the Seder, we read about Hashavas Aveda, the mitzvah of returning a lost object. The Belzer Rebbe, Rabbi Sachar Dov, may his merit protect us, taught that this applies not only to lost property, but also to lost Jews. Just as one must return a lost item to its owner, so too Hashem, in His mercy, returns lost souls to their people. Although the Gemara in Baba Basra Lamed teaches that an elder may be exempt from retrieving a lost object when it's beneath his dignity, the Rambam in Hilchos Aveda in the 11th chapter rules that one who goes beyond the letter of the law should return it nonetheless. So too, even when a Jew is so mired in sin that it seems unbefitting for Hashem to intervene, Hashem, who acts with abundant mercy, rescues and redeems him. Let us call out, plead, and pray that Hashem, in His infinite kindness, return us as well, gather us in, and bless us with a good, meaningful, and sweet new year. Shabbat Shalom.